Tom, how are they from Tuesday night? Any problems?
No, we've got a couple that we'll have to assess close to kick-off. But we're hopeful they'll both be okay, both important players. So Imran being one of those that we'll just have to assess him close to the time. But apart from that, no new concerns.
Imran, he got a couple of kicks, didn't he? Was it just that? Nothing much?
Yeah, as you can probably see, he's playing with quite a strapping on at the minute. I've had that sort of niggle where in your knee, but we're hoping that he'll get more recovery time in the next 48 hours and he'll be completely fine come Saturday afternoon.
And some of the other ones who are back training again and back to full fitness just means there's a bit more time for them if they need to be involved.
Yeah, Kevin. So his plan will be to play for the under-21s on Monday, be available for the Coventry game, and then Tom Delabashiru is available to be in the squad this weekend. So excellent news for us. We all know what an important player Tom is for us and how much he fits into how I want to play, and we're thrilled that he's back.
You spoke afterwards about some of them are lacking a bit of confidence at the moment. That's quite tricky, isn't it, trying to get them through that period? Because it's noticeable, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had a few have a dip in confidence at the same time, but I think it's important that we don't let that change the way we approach games, and I must say that it changed my approach on Tuesday, and I spoke with the players that if I lose belief in how I want to play, then we're in trouble. So you won't see a performance like Tuesday again. I felt like I had to adapt because of the starts, because of the goal threat, because of maybe a lack of confidence in possession, but I think it was clear to see that Tuesday first half, it's not how we want to go about it. It's not what will bring us success, and we don't want to compromise what our strengths are. So it was a wake-up call for us all. And moving forward, I think it could be a real significant half, even how poor I thought it was. I think it really certifies that can't be our approach. It's not the style of team that I want to be, and how I see us being successful.
Was that a message you gave them straight away afterwards in the dressing room, or did you wait to do that?
Wait to do it till this morning, yeah. So this morning's the next time since straight after the game that I see the whole group. Yesterday there's a recovery group and a training group. So this morning, yeah, we need to get back to what we believe will bring us success, and I don't see it being this low block counter-attacking team who goes direct, and yeah, it wasn't. I felt like needs must at the time, but with hindsight, yeah, it wasn't the right decision for me. So yeah, I start with myself. Let's go back to what I believe in will bring this team success, and with that is our way that we all have to believe in.
Quite a tricky situation because with players maybe out of form and lacking a bit of confidence, system-wise and how you play, is it racking your brain about how you can do things? For instance, if you wanted to play the good four attackers, you've got to play a four-man defence, which you might not be too happy about as far as conceding is concerned.
Yeah, and that's where personnel really does give you an injection. Sort of, Tom feels like a new signing in this window, returning back, fresh mind, fresh legs. He's not gone through a little dip in confidence. James Abankwah is a really good profile for being able to defend in a four. Brings us speed, physicality. I can see after 2 days he values the art of defending. So again, another good profile to be able to flirt between 3, 4. So yeah, he's a real. They're two promising ones to return to the squad or be added to the squad, and hopefully a couple more will give us that fresh injection that we need now.
He's one that you're looking at straight away, is he, the defender?
Absolutely, yeah. He's been impressive in his first 2 days training. It was one that we were completely aligned on. It's not sort of a project, or we identified him as a player that is the perfect profile for what we're missing. He's one that the Udinese manager actually was quite desperate to keep, but we feel like he can add more value to us, and I'm pleased he's come and joined us.
In this transfer window, you're probably after players who've maybe had 50, 100, 150 games in ideally Championship, but certainly in British football. How important is that to get those type of players?
In a perfect world, yes, oven ready Championship. footballers that understand the league and are need one training session to meet everyone and they're ready to go. So, but no, I did a lot of research into James and his attitude and he's Rocco's captain at under-21 level, and you can tell he's a guy who wants to learn and he's ready to improve, and with an attitude like that, these players are ready to go.
I think I said on the radio the other day, if you don't make relevant signings, then that could mean that you don't make the playoffs, and if you did, it would give you a huge chance. Is that too simplistic?
No, I'd agree with it to a certain extent. I mean, my job will always be to improve the team and improve the individuals that I have in the building. And like at most of the clubs now, recruitment is left to another department, but it will certainly help. Yeah, you see that last season I'm sure we're in a similar position at this stage and fell away. Now we have to learn from that. Why did that happen? And certainly we must bring in some fresh minds as well as an injection of quality. So it's an important period for us the next 2 weeks.
How does it work out with you talking to the ones above? Is it daily? Is it on the phone? Or is
we sit down. What type of team we want to be? What system we want to recruit to? What areas of that system? Then we see where we can improve the most, and then we highlight some targets. I have my input, and that's taken on board, and hopefully as many of those can be executed.
Derby, they'll probably be smarting still from that penalty shootout defeat. What do you expect from them this weekend?
Yeah, we've watched quite a lot of Derby recently, and at the start of the season they scored early and sat in a really low block. In fact, we found it hard and they were a real counter-attack style team. Now they've developed into being more than that. They play a lot out from the back a lot more. They do the basics very well. They've got a lot of pace on the top line, but they've got a lot of players that I admire at Derby. For me, they've progressed a lot from the last time we played them, so it'd be a very tough test.
Is one of the aims to start getting more points from some of these sides that are mid-table to below table, which has been a little bit of an issue this season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's clear there's some areas that we're lacking in. I think the overall picture still looks very promising for us, but it's clear that the lower end teams that we've dropped a lot of points against, and still the first half record that was poor long before I took over. There's things we can't get to the bottom of, but no, the overall picture is still positive.
While we're on transfers, people will think that ready-made, experienced Championship players come at a big price or they come with big salaries. I'm guessing that isn't the case.
Championship players maybe not, but obviously if you're trying to get the Premier League loans, then salaries are normally inflated, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But usually it's Premier League players that are not in the team and they're really they want to be part of something and feel important again. So it's like that kind of profile that I'm interested in as well. That, okay, they may have not been playing as much as you'd want, but they come with fresh minds and fresh legs and really with an ambition to be part of the project. So, yeah, those kind of profiles as well, and the club will also be looking at a couple of their targets.
And does the Jefferson end of loan then free up a salary?
Yeah. So whether we distribute that into one position and into a Jefferson replacement, or we distribute it somewhere where we feel like we can improve more, it is a decision we all have to make as a club.
A Jefferson replacement, though, with only 2 9s at the club, would almost feel like essential at this window.
Yeah, hindsight would be an amazing thing right now because we've got a double-figure striker in the building. So right now, Bayo's our number one striker, and deservedly so. So I don't think anyone's going to come in and shift Bayo out of the team. Now, if something happened to Bayo, it's a big ask for Mamadou to take that number 9 shirt, and we're relying on him. He's 18 years old. He's very little experience of playing in the country. So that's the balancing act we've got as a club at the minute. Is do we recruit a Jefferson replacement who unless it is absolutely amazing, I'm more than happy with our number 9 at the minute. So it's a difficult balancing act, that one, and for me there are other areas in the pitch that are priorities.
I think that's where I was coming from. That if on February the 1st, Abankwah fell in a hole and we hadn't signed anybody, we would be in a real sticky situation.
Correct. So that's that again. They're the conversations that we're having. This isn't scattergun. These processes and strategies are all being discussed on a daily basis, and obviously, the one that everyone would talk about would be do we bring Blissett back? So that's conversations that have been taking place.
When you make your recommendations or your suggestions, I'm guessing you do this with budget in mind. It's not like you're thinking, well, I'd love a Messi, I'd love a Ronaldo. You're doing this with what you know is available and what you have to spend.
Yeah, I know that it's very difficult to be sustainable as a Championship football club, so that budget is consistently being reduced. We're not the only club that are doing that. So you can see we lost some expensive talent in the summer, and that is part and parcel of it. It's my job to develop the next batch of players. Now I hope they play in the Premier League for us. If we don't get to the Premier League, then it's most likely how Championship clubs have to operate now. So, of course, I know the budget in mind, but there is Plan A and Plan B and C for me. And right now, Plan A is to get into the playoffs, and with that comes a little bit of higher calibre of talent.
When you were talking earlier about approaches, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Tottenham under Ardiles or Newcastle under Keegan, where basically their theory was we'll score one more than you. Is attack our best form of defence?
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to the defenders we've got in the building, because it could quite easily turn on its head. It's just the way football works. But at the minute, yeah, I want us to entertain as a team, and like I said, the Tuesday evening, sitting in a block and trying to absorb and counter attack. I think we've got the defenders to defend like this, but it's not what I think will bring us success. So I want to do the best that I can do to let our attacking players flourish, and I think that is our best chances of success.
With the 10s that we've got, so Blissett, Chakvetadze, are we in a similar sort of situation to where England were when they were trying to find a place that they could play Gerrard and Lampard and still keep the team balanced?
Yeah, so that's where to fit them all in, you have to play 4 at the back, and to play 4 at the back, you have to be a solid defensive unit with players who are valuing defending, defensive-minded fullbacks, and that's why I've taken the decision. I don't think we have that in the building right now, so that's why I've always taken the decision that I feel like the back 3 gives us more balance and stability. Now, recruiting people like James Abankwah and Kevin returning gives you more pace, gives you maybe the option to play defensive-minded fullback. Then this helps us possibly go to a back 4 and find a way of getting all 3 in the team.
Actually, last question. If then you are saying that we might have to not always have the 3 in the team, does that mean we're going to be on continual rotation with those 3, do you think?
No, I'm not obsessed with rotation. Your hand is forced at times when the games are so thick and fast, and with form and things like that. But yeah, there's a lot of things to the balance of the team. So sort of, if you play Giorgi as attacking midfielder, as an 8 in a midfield 3, Giorgi's defensive qualities are not. It's not the strongest side of his game, so you lose something for that. So again, it's all a balancing act. When we're in a dip of form like we are, it looks like I've not got the balance of the team right. So I have to navigate us through this period, but I don't want to compromise what we are as a team, and that's the most important thing for me moving forward.